Intel Extreme Masters is brought to you in part by Intel, Vodafone, Acer Predator, Mountain Dew Amp Game Fuel, HyperX, Bedway, and Pay Safeguard.
Getting a little dark outside and also dark here in the dreams of the ninjas in pajamas. And for everything considered and all of the numbers accounted for, it looks as though roughly 36 minutes exactly is just how long that map took there. Astralis doing it in convincing fashion, and I think a man by the name of Sean Gares coined it just right when he said in a tweet. Good guy Astralis, making sure these 5 individuals in pajamas get to bed at a decent time.
Yeah, that's a nice thing for him to do. We were worried about the T side of Astralis coming into this, right? We were concerned. I guess there's one way to work out not having to play too many T rounds, and that's by getting 15 straight on your CT side. We knew their CT side was good. They haven't actually, been able to solve the factor of, oh, is their T side good or not? Because they only needed to win 1 round.
Yeah, that was crazy by Astralis. The pace they came out with on the CT side, the aggression they came out with on the CT side, everything just clicked apart.
Yeah, and everything clicking is not going to bode well for anyone stacked up against Astralis. Chad, I know you've got something put together for us. Just go ahead and paint us a picture.
Well, we had Get Right, talking about wanting to play aggressive, chaotic Counter-Strike. It was actually the change from Astralis that I really like. Normally, they're very methodical. They take their time. This is a clutch situation from Xyp9x where he's hyper-aggressive. We'll start playing this one out. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to focus here, where Xyp9x in transition is going to take a real advantage of this chaotic round. He's going to jump up on the box. He's going to get a free kill in this one. The camera angle is going to change, and now we're going to find ourselves in a position where I just want to pause it right about here. We just missed that flash go off. I want you to focus on this flash coming in from Xyp9x. It's landing right here, which has drawn the attention of both of these players to look towards his position, which has given Dupree a chance to swing. He's not going to get a chance to get a kill. He's actually going to fall, but Xyp9x just continues to fight. Forrest is low when he goes to plant the bomb, and you can look at the time here. The bomb gets dropped, there's only 20 seconds left on the clock, and he can find himself in a 1v1. We actually can push in, take the fight, forces the last player alive around the box, and this is a perfect duel for a CT. I love this pace coming out from Astralis. Fantastic stuff.
I mean, it's one of the things that makes not only Xyp9x, but Astralis so dimensional in the way they play. Xyp9x is known to be this very... laid-back player. He waits for the occasion, waits for the right moment to strike, and this time around, he's just, as you said, hyper-aggressive, in your face, going for the duels. That is a guy with a lot of confidence playing Counter-Strike right there.
So he's not the first guy at the party, but he's definitely bringing the party, is what you're saying.
Sure.
Well, he's having a party in this one. I got some fun stats, Trace. I don't know if you want to hear about this, but in the entirety of that game, NiP had a total of 36 frags. Magic's Boy and Xyp9x combined had 42. Right? That's getting blown out of the water. Also, in the first 8 rounds of the game, it was split 4 for 4 in terms of opening duels. The game ended 13-5 in opening duels in favor of Astralis. So the game started close, but after that, they just got blown out of the water.
Completely blown out of the water. They weren't able to do anything against the aggression coming out from Astralis, the individual level as well. They tried to force their way into the B-bomb side time and time again, but as you saw, Dupree closed it down, Xyp9x closed it down, and no matter what NiP tried, they just hit a brick wall.
Yeah, and that wall being Astralis is not looking to let up anytime soon, but if you guys want some numbers, I got some more for you right here. You want to talk about breaking records. Yes, 3 kills on LAN is nothing exactly, riot about in the streets, or even 3 kills online. But with those 3 kills by Get Right, he has, in fact, passed Pasha Biceps in terms of kills online and on LAN overall.
That's all he needed, was those 3.
He's one ahead right now.
Well, I don't know how many more kills he's going to get on the next map, because that was the choice, right? That was the choice of NiP. That was the one weakness that we could see for Astralis, and they didn't even falter at all.
At all. There was no cushion there. There was nowhere for NiP to rest their head throughout the duration of what that domination was on Mirage. We actually had the opportunity to hear from them directly via Frankie, of course. Let's see what they got.
Glaive, an absolutely barnstorming start with your first map, Mirage. Did you have a point to prove after you let that one slip away to Renegades in your last match?
Actually, we really wanted to win that game because we know that we could play a better Mirage than we did against Renegades, even though, once again, we only showed our CT side, so next time, hopefully, we can show the T side.
Are you a little bit annoyed, though, that NiP managed to pull a few rounds back?
No, I'm not annoyed, but I think we should have checked that car position in the pistol round, but still, it's just what happens, right, in the heat of the moment, and yeah, but I'm happy that we won with such a huge lead.
No excuses, Glaive, no excuses. Now we're going into Duster, it's your map pick. What are we going to see?
So yeah, we prepared to play Nuke against NiP because usually they play Nuke against us, and they have permaban as Dust 2. So we expected to play Nuke, so we didn't do much of a game plan against them specifically, but we still have a really good Dust 2. So I hope we'll just play our own game.
And if you don't, then you've got an excuse ready and waiting. Dust 2, it's not really what we usually play. Glaive, I can't wait to see you boys back out there because we need to head back to the desk. I think they've got a few things to discuss.
We do, Frankie. We absolutely do. Quite a few things to discuss, and one of those will be just the elation off of finding one round in that matchup for the Ninjas in Pajamas. Now looking ahead into the next map, guys, they've got to just wipe the slate.
Talking about all the holes, right, though, Jacob, in the map pool, and it's Dust 2. It's a map they haven't played since October.
A map they haven't played since October, right? NiP is definitely not putting themselves in a good situation. That said, though, if we have to find something to dig into, last time Astralis did lose a map. It was Dust 2 against Liquid at that iBuy tournament.
Sure.
So, I guess
so you're saying there's a chance?
I'm saying there's a chance.
That tournament was more of a circus than a tournament.
Sure.
Yeah, it was.
I'm trying to be positive. I'm really trying.
I think the history bucks will reflect the circus affair, but also that Astralis can be beaten outside of that tournament. But this is the big stage where you want to do it on. In fact, I think we have something that we can kind of look into when it comes down to Dust 2 in regards of what Astralis is all about, Chad.
Yeah, I had something on the Telstra. I don't know if we have time to pull it up right here. We got a minute and 43 seconds according to that clock. Can I do it? Let's do it. All right. So one of the things Astralis does really well on their CT side when they've established their economy is they can get Dupree as a secondary AWP over towards the B bomb site and have 4 players over towards A that you can see right here really getting the dominance on long. We know that long is a pivot point, and Astralis are really good at throwing this into their gameplay. So look out for this, 4 players stacking over towards long, shutting down any aggression coming out of these doors and forcing the Ts to have a different plan of attack.
Now, that plan of attack is going to have to come into the first half. I do believe that it's going to be the Ninjas of Pajamas starting on CT.
Yikes.
Which, how does that bode for us, Jacob?
I mean, at what point do you say to yourself, you're in a quarterfinal at a major, at what point do you tell yourself that we just have to play completely loose? We're facing the best team in the world. We're facing an Astralis that seems unbeatable. Why don't we just try to play a game of puck and see where that leads us? I would do that if I were NiP. I would literally just throw everything they've done, all the preparation they've done, out of the window, see if they can somehow surprise Astralis, see if they can somehow catch them off guard. Because as it is right now, Astralis is simply too good to be played against.
I mean, they're being outclassed, Chad. That's really the easiest way to put it.
Yeah, it's a whole new map, though. We know that these guys have the pedigree to just kind of water off the duck's back type of vibe, but it does seem difficult because we don't know what to expect from NiP right here. We don't know what actually cards they have in their back pocket to pull out. So in terms of the playstyle from them, I can't really give you an idea. We have already spoken about the fact that they have 4 different players who pick up the AWP, and with that in mind, Trace, it's a very AWP-heavy map, so who's going to have it?
Yeah, I think we do have a recipe for a perfect storm right here, but we all cannot dismiss what we just witnessed on the first map of this series. Get Right gonna have to step it up in a big way here if he wants to compete with the likes of Astralis, because for what it's worth now, this is the only map left between them and elimination. The Ninjas of Pajamas fans in the crowd now alongside of the Astralis fans. This whole entire bout comes down to what they can do in this map, fellas.
Yeah, this might be the last chance NiP fans have to get loud, so you might want to blow the roof off this one with this last chance, because I feel that Astralis are just on point. I feel like they have something to prove right here with what we just saw on Mirage. I don't think they're going to slow down on Dust 2 at all.
We said it before, and we're going to say it again. Res, Dennis, those 2 players needs to step up right here, right now. If they want to have any chance whatsoever at taking this fight against Astralis, you need your best players to play and perform on the stage. And on the first map, Mirage, yeah, it was a team performance from Astralis. We didn't really get to see anything apart from Res having that 1 pistol round. We need the best players. We need the best from NiP to come out of them. Otherwise, it's going to be another landslide by Astralis, and nobody wants to see that.
Nobody is in the mood for a landslide, much less a landslide overall, especially here when we're talking about the Ninjas of Pajamas. A pedigree, as Chad said, that could rival the best of the best, and right now they're stacked up against them. Astralis being the big favorite for coming out and coming on top of this entire thing. As the victor, now have to push NiP to the edge again. It's going to be Dust 2 right now in the Spodek. I need you to make some more noise because it is time for the second map of this series. Vince Hill and Jason Moses O'Toole. You do love to hear them, and you're going to be hearing them all map long. Take it away, fellas.
Thank you, Trace. Yes, the second map in this series at NiP, they must get out to a quick start. This is no joke. Astralis, you thought they were good on Mirage, getting out to that 15-0 lead. They are phenomenal on Dust 2 as well, one of the deepest map pools we have in the game. And NiP, this is tournament life on the line.
This is where they need the veterans to stand tall. lead by example. The good news for NiP at least is they're on the CT side. This is where didn't really get to see much from them on Mirage. Dust 2, a much more even map, though, it has to be said. You can get a lot of success on the T side of the map. Dennis, in the meanwhile, though, flashbang down into mid, actually hits Mages, but still comes out ahead with the Glock, and that opens up business on Catwalk side. Lekro's about to get tested by multiple Ts, but he's whiffed all his bullets, and it's going to cost him his life. They needed him to hold on desperately.
So many awkward fights for NiP, so many individual awkward fights. First Dennis on Catwalk, Lekro at long with 3 players jumping wildly, difficult targets to hit. And it just snowballed out of control. Everyone from NiP caught out in the open against multiple Astralis members. Rez gonna try and use the planter. He knows where one is, not peeking. Wanted to try and even out the odds a little bit, but now he's stuck in the corner.
An excellent pistol in the first map. Really shining light, but there's too many angles, too many bullets whizzing past his head, and finally, one of them will connect. And the Danish demolition crew continue their winning ways. It's another pistol round.
Another pistol in their favor, another victorious start to a second map. They're gonna buy up, perhaps expecting investment from NiP, who's actually not gonna mount any resistance in this round. Just USPs, unarmored opponents. Lekro's gonna be tagged. Small Catwalk stack with 2 players. GetRight and Dennis gonna be there, but again, just USPs, so even if you get the jump on somebody, no guarantee that weapon is gonna be able to finish off the kills, and a slight opportunity missed and now taken away from them. Magisk and Dupree, 2 quick kills. Lekro getting the dink, but again, the USPs, so it doesn't do much. Not a lot of stopping power on those USPs.
No, like mosquitoes to a windshield. Not too much gonna happen. And only have 2 of them left. The standard issue pistol in play for Forest and Dennis are stacking together at the very least, looking if they can maybe take one of these stray Danes away. But the flashbang gonna be preceding Device's push. Isn't gonna lose any health at all as he bests Dennis, in the same result for Forest 2. Astralis to a 2-0 lead.
Well, that was pretty quick and clinical. Now we get into the rifles. Now we have the AUGs being brought out on Dennis and Lekro and Rez. M4 on Forest. So they'll be able to mount some defense, missing out on utility. 1 kid on GetRight who's got smoke flash, Molotov on Rez, but their utility is nothing to be too happy about. And tough part as well, with only 1 flashbang, not a whole lot of ways to put your teammates in position to be aggressive, and Device is now 2 for 2 on the scout tags crossing mid.
Yeah, that's gonna put a couple players in the range now with the UMPs as well, up close. Molotov onto Catwalk. Just trying to buy up a little bit of time to maneuver through the tunnels. Another one on mid. They're not pushing behind this though, Astralis. There's only 1 smoke left already for NiP though, and a flashbang. So little to fend them off, and they've thrown the smoke on short. It's going to be a B hit. Can Rez hold on with the AUG? So far, so good. He's got 1, but he's dropped to 24, and Mages will finish off the rest. Double entries onto B, and that should be the round following.
It's so tough when you're in that position, and you get the 1 kill as Rez, but the Molotov is really restricting your movement, and it's a perfect for Magisk, who knows exactly where to aim as he swings wide. Astralis, patient enough, as you mentioned, to just run the utility, the counter utility low, and NiP have nothing to break that hit up. It had to have been brute force. And Magisk gonna continue his tear from that first map. Saves coming out from these last 3 NiP members. They can still buy up around this, maybe a half investment from Rez and Dennis. They won't be able to have rifles, but that is, assuming that these rifles stay in the hands of NiP to the end of this round. GetRight even gonna get a more passive angle. And Astralis not too dedicated to the hunt. They were hoping they'd find someone in T-spawn. Glaive is gonna be pushing around at GetRight. No reason to take that fight. You can see he's just getting deeper and deeper into cover. So they do bring 3 rifles forward. Oh, he was dinked pretty quickly. There we go, a follow-up. And Magisk, with 2 kills, pretty much seals the round. That B bomb site is so difficult to retake, especially as NiP just didn't have the nades to do it in that round.
Yeah, just the 1 kit as well, and a bit of low health. Understand why they pulled the plug. They are going to get some weapons behind the saved guns, but it's going to be a scout, and Lekro's already been found. Dennis at least going to get a kill back with a Molotov.
They had to have that evening kill. They needed to find that frag.
It's a bit of a stalemate on long, but Magisk has now opened his account once more. The player that was reaping kills left and right in the first map is maybe going to pick up 2 in this. Forrest says no. Slaps him down. Going to be tested again. Flashbang has cleared. Forrest comes out. That's what NiP are looking for. They need Forrest to shine. Bomb's been dropped pre-fire. Not quite enough to claim Glaive, but Forrest, 3 separate duels going his way. And NiP finally has something to cheer about.
That was all on Forrest. He was exposed from middle as well. If Astralis had been aggressive there, even when he gets that kill in Imagine, still has to hold on for so long. Those are the fights that he's going to love. Those short to mid-range fights, one-on-one, no chance of trades, which is rare to see out of Astralis, and Forrest makes the most of that chance. But now they must build upon it. Gonna reset that losing bonus. They must win this round. And Device has the AWP in his hands.
Oh, and Forrest has been smacked up down to 13. Gonna put him on the back foot. He is one of the B players. Get right, meanwhile, trying to apply some pressure on long.
And he's the only one there. Dennis and Lekro are both playing Catwalk, and Lekro's pretty aggressive. He's actually, with a little bit of pressure from Astralis by nades, he's just going to drop back, but he needs to stay at this A bomb site. Dennis is going to need help because Gatright, he's sliding back, but that really weakens his ability to hold long. If Zipnix is aggressive at all and is able to get out, he has a great angle. Now they retake long. Now Astralis, with all that pressure on towards Cat, could fall into a mid-B split. There's so many options available to them now. And utility again running low. Lekro's got a Molotov, and that might be exactly what they need to stop a Catwalk hit if it comes in.
Has been used, but there's still 50 seconds. That Molotov's not going to last long. Astralis still have plenty of grenades. 4 Molotovs, pardon me, and smokes behind it. This is looking dire for NiP. The only good news is time is starting to dwindle. They're gonna have to play off that. They need kills to come in right here, right now, and the smoke's been deployed to CT. It's now a 2-angled attack, and Glaive is the first to strike. It's gonna be going all the way of the Danes. Gatright can maybe hold the line. All by his lonesome, does get the first, looking for a second, picks that up too. Is still alive for a few more moments. Has he stalled long enough for the rest of NiP to get close? I don't think they're gonna go for this. Forrest only has 13 health, and Rez with no grenades. A valiant attempt by Gatright, but I don't think it's going to yield the round.
No, it's not. Mostly because Force just doesn't have the HP to even come and try and fight for this. They have to back away. That's a beautiful hit from Astralis. That smoke on the long corner as well. Even though Gatright's rotating back, he doesn't have an angle to assist his teammates and to cover them. Astralis able to get in with ease. Opening 2 kills. If Gatright had gotten that 3rd frag, he does dink Magisk. That might have been the one needed to prompt Rez and Force to go for it, just not enough. A 4th round now for the offense. Money on NiP not looking great. Gatright can still buy an Augur and M4 with armor, so they might actually invest around this. It wouldn't be the worst decision in the world.
Especially as the alternative would be tapping out and allowing Astralis to get even more of a stranglehold. We saw what they did on Mirage. Given an opportunity, they ran with it. So NiP will be force buying. Here is the players that unfolded. It looked like it could be Gatright to dig them out of the ditch, but not quite. Let's move through to round 6 then. Device still has his AWP. And Glaive making inroads out on long. NiP haven't been able to really cover this too well. They've had a couple of avenge kills, but not much else going their way when it came to long array side. Already so much ground has been taken here, Jason. Molotov's whiff, though.
Yeah, no one's there at car, so shouldn't be too much of a danger for Astralis, but here we go. The desk highlighted this exact play. 4 players out long for Astralis, Dupree waiting in upper dark. Over towards that B bomb site. Glaive actually gonna fall back. And Astralis at the moment content to have control of long. It's a lot of time that Device has to peer up into this A bomb site. Dennis gonna go for the peek now just as Device gives up the angle. Maybe unfortunate timing, but this is a defense of the A site that's really consolidated on Catwalk.
Yeah, I think a lot of that was off the back of the smoke on Xbox. They're not sure if they were pushing up mid. Get Right's been forced out. Dennis, with just a scout in his hands, he's going to need to land headshots, going to need to perforate. And Dennis is going to go down without much of a fight alongside Lekro. Rotation from Get Right into Long, but the battle has been lost on A. Get Right may get the better of Device, but doesn't want to overextend. They need to hold on to these guns.
You have to imagine Astralis knows the money situation so well, and just says, okay, the two B players saved their guns, so let's not even mess with them. Let's not even go to that side of the map. Let's attack Long, where we know they've been weakened, where even if they are able to buy or drop some guns over, there might not be the nades to stop this. And obviously going up against a scout and a pistol, NiP has only one real option left when those two players go down. Astralis really exploiting the economy of NiP at this point.
Having a bit of fun in their downtime, allowing NiP to survive.
One of the few teams who is allowed to kind of sit back and have a little bit of fun in their quarterfinal matchup.
So NiP with another save. Can they feasibly go for anything? Not really. They could drop a couple of guns again, but they've never really had a strong hold of their economy on this half. Looks like they are going to be tapping out of this one. So just the two nades to play with. They do have some firepower, but Astralis have been choking them time and time again.
And this time, Force and Rez play over towards Long. Exactly where Astralis attacked last time, but Astralis have changed up their point of attack. Again, this three-man thrust manages to pre and Device, with Device providing cover with that AWP. They're going to find Lekro with just a USP. Get Right's going to be there, but he's out of the double doors. He can't fight for this. His teammate has gone down too fast, so that's going to be frustrating for Lekro and frustrating for NiP. Trying to shuffle and change this defensive look so they can have their weapons to properly defend, and Astralis has the perfect call for it. Get Right, gonna try and do some sneaky plays. It's not gonna work. Dupree looking for just that. Astralis have everything covered.
Red's gonna find Glaive, but there is so much money. It's gonna be easy to replenish that fallen gun. It was worth the pursuit of taking a rifle away from NiP. Meanwhile, that does put an AK in Dennis's hands, but Astralis, they're gonna be 6-1 in the lead.
And when you got battered on the first map and you're starting to get pretty battered here on Dust 2, at least to open things up in the first stages of this half, even just saving an AK-47 isn't going to make you very happy. Astralis now have the money saved up to actually go for some of these guns. Zipnik's going to lead the way. Great pop flash from Rez, or I mean, excuse me, from Zipnik's teammate to get Rez. I don't think it necessarily blinded him, but it made him look away. Force muscled onto this ult, spamming through. Somehow he's dodging those bullets. And there's the timer right at the end. The AWP and the AK-47 brought into the next round, and NiP must buy here, and they must start mounting a defense.
Yeah, they played passively in the last round. It has to pay off for them now. Way more grenades. It's been a consistent pain in the backside for the Swedes. What can they do with it, though? They're tossing a lot of these grenades out early on. Device not able to consistently tag through the doors. He was doing it with the scout, but not the AWP.
So Dennis close up to provide cover for Force with that AWP. You would imagine is going to stay aggressive and try and find a pick towards top mid or at those double doors, but the flashbangs are just too good. Dennis completely blind, and now he can't go for the retake, but he throws out his own flashbang that actually pulls Device off, and Device didn't see that one. Force trying to step up, trying to remain aggressive and have an impact. He's at least brought this into a 4-on-4, but he wants another one. It's not going to happen.
Very risky play there, Moses.
That might be a sign of desperation of when you're trying to do a little bit too much because you can just feel like you need something. And it's hard to blame him after that first map. There's Lekro.
Oh dear. From bad to worse for NiP. Get Right and Rez gonna have to stand very tall and deliver something special if they're going to pick up their second round here.
Matches to the B bomb site. He's going to get a free kill onto Rez. He's snuck in that whole time. It's just Get Right. 13 HP, which you don't like to see, but he's got the bomb down. And he's doing what he believes will be the last thing they expect. Get aggressive through those mid doors, but there's so much time for Astralis to work with.
And Zipnik's had him dead to rights. If he just comes around this corner, Get Right's going to be looking towards the left side of mid, finds him, frags him. Astralis 7-1. Commanding lead once again. And that was the round that we were putting a lot of emphasis on because NiP finally get themselves a solid buy, and it's just the same result.
There's a bomb on that chicken.
Who was it yesterday that kept wrecking? Oh, it was Nitro, wasn't it? Just kept knifing all the chickens.
Yes, he was.
And they lost, so there's a
little bit of chicken karma in there for you?
Yeah.
Well, now all the advantages for Astralis. A nade stack in the long cave, and Device is going to find Get Right just as the smoke and shrapnel fades. And Astralis starting to pick up the pace, feeling comfortable. Molotov gonna force that Deagle to fight in an awkward position, and A is open. One more player at long, 2 players rotating away from B, but Astralis, no matter where they've gone, no matter what it's been up against, they've pretty much gotten everything they wanted.
Necro's gonna be able to get 2 though from the side of long. Neither of Astralis were checking that out. Now is not the time to take your foot off the gas. But Necro gonna meet Zipnik's, who's always focused, always concentrating. Rez with his Desert Eagles to try and pick up the slack. Same fate.
Well, here we go. Another buy for NiP. They didn't invest a whole lot just so they could have the benefit of the losing bonus so they can get this double op setup. Lekro and Forest. And this feels like their last chance. This switch up into this defense, this is so important if NiP want to make a comeback. Katowice, does anyone still believe in NiP magic?
Well, Forrest certainly does. He's opened up the round and lands onto Glaive. So early damage, certainly in favor of the Swedes, but can they capitalize? It's consistent theme, the same on Mirage. They get the first pick and it just slips away. They need to grab onto this with both hands.
The nice thing, obviously, that follow-up tag from Forrest. Glaive down so low, he might be forced to chill a little bit, and Forrest doing it all. Remember, he's responsible for their single round win as well. And now the op is ringing true, and he's being very aggressive and very mobile on this map, trying to rotate into the point of contact. The double op's now working wonders as Lekro adds on top of it.
As finds Glaive. Is it going to be the clean sweep? Build a bit of confidence. Yes, it is. NiP, welcome back.
3 kills for the 2 AWPs they picked up. That's brilliant. And all 5 players surviving, that's even more so. Something perhaps for NiP to build upon. They hadn't gone for those aggressive peaks this whole half, and Forrest is going to get some nice ones.
It's a kind of clean round that can build confidence to it, can inspire.
It can open up the playbook as well if they choose to be aggressive, but with this double op, you still want the ops to be the first thing making contact for NiP. Dennis around the edge of the smoke, he's got to be careful. They're spamming through. A counter flash comes out. He's going to go right back in. That flashbang blinds Get Right, but allows him to get position. They're taking so much damage, but they're winning these fights until just now. Get Right, the last man standing. Magisk was burning. He puts out a smoke. There's no one to help Get Right. He's all on his own, and he missed a chance for one more. Magisk has to let Device take control of this situation. He's still holding on to Pit.
Get Right's going to take the initiative, change his position. Still 75 health, so he's got plenty of HP in his back pocket to try and trade off against these 2 players. But Astralis realizing that it's a 3-on-3 and there's still plenty of the map at their disposal, going to back the bomb out of there, leaving Magisk all alone. This could catch Get Right off guard. I believe he heard the footsteps. There's the flashback. So well played from Astralis. Gives them the player advantage, and NiP on the back foot once again.
Oh dear, Rez. He might want to fall back. He's going to go for the fight. He finds Dupree. That play from Astralis, leaving Magisk at long, falling back and tossing the flashbang from Device. That might have been one of the most beautiful plays I've seen in any of these quarterfinals. That is so smart from Astralis. Rez needs to hold on to the B bomb site, but he's only got Device to challenge him, and that's a nasty angle for the AUG. Magisk with low HP. He was hoping Device could open things up. He's gonna grab an AK-47 and go for it, but it looks like NiP is gonna get up to 3 rounds on Dust 2. The footsteps have been heard, the utility gives it away even more. And he's not even gonna check the car. Rez, 3 kills in the round, and NiP, a little bit more hope building.
It's 2 in a row, additionally, for NiP, and that's going to put Astralis into a bit of a sticky situation. Device down to 3.5K, everyone else can afford. This is where they can start to break that economy down into bite-sized pieces. Landing shots that previously they wouldn't have. Another timeout has been called.
This timeout for Astralis, I don't think they're necessarily feeling nervous in any way, but this is the last buy, or they're getting pretty much down to that last investment area. 3 players below at $300 or less. Some players missing nades, so they just want to make sure they go over it, see if they can win one to continue buying. I don't think they've had to save in this series yet.
Wasn't far off there, Dupree. It would have been a brutal start to the round. I believe it was Forrest that was peeking with his AWP. Flashbang, neutralizing Get Right's vision. Didn't see Glaive hop across.
I think Glaive saw him, though.
He did, absolutely. Hence the Molotov. But the head now going to be sticking over the top. Get Right's going to counteract with a molly of his own. Also going to smoke behind, but could stick around. Try and play some mind games. Decides better of it.
Yeah, he doesn't want to mess with that fight. A lot of pressure applied to Get Right in an awkward scenario, and he knew he just didn't have the advantage. Preserves the 5 versus 5. These ops, though, Rez in the back of B. Lekro with 1, now going to watch Catwalk as Get Right shifts towards long, but the battle at the moment is all in mid. Flashbang's being used just to give the Alpers the advantage, and it looked like Forrest had it. Missed shot, he's going to get legged in return. He's forced down low. Someone from NiP is probably going to have to get to this A bomb site. All 5 players for Astralis on Catwalk. This could be a nasty hit, and Lekro has just the AWP, and he's in Goose.
This is one prong from Astralis, though. They're all going to be barreling out of Catwalk together. Nobody up on long, but now the smoke's starting to deploy. This is ruining the vision of Get Right. He can't see anything. It's all down to Forrest in this smoke, and oh, the timing. He is going to get one, but traded out instantly. Lekros missed his chance. Now going to be swarmed by terrorists, a tsunami of them, crashing against the A site. And it's too much for NiP to contend with. Their winning streak may come to an end right here, right now.
That's so tough. The player rotating in towards A has an AWP, puts both ops on the defense against all those smokes and flashbangs. Rez trying to open up a window to go for this, but Glaive trying to take off his feet in return. Good kill from Dennis. Glaive is low. This is still a possibility. Halfway into the bomb timer. Dennis needs this kill out towards long. He spots it out, but there's the peek from Rail, and Rez with the AWP is going to chime out 1, and Glaive is going to stop him. He's got an off angle inside of the site. Even with low HP, so much confidence against that weapon.
You can see the nightmare of the CT side in full effect. They won 2 in a row. Now 3 players, $2,000 or below on NiP. It's brutal.
Really is tough. I mean, those heavy attacks from Astralis up Catwalk have been so successful for him. The initial players have not really been able to string any multi-kill rounds to slow down the hit onto the bomb site, to allow players to rotate over, even the long player falling back. Not able to really help out in a lot of those scenarios. Nine to 3. NiP would love to buy here with this kind of a deficit at this stage, but it's just Lekro with 6,300, Forrest with 4,500. Everyone else is really hurting for cash. And that might prompt them to save 1.
Yeah, that would mean they could potentially concede a 10th round, though, on their CT side. So I think that may be coming into some of the decision-making as to why Dennis has picked up an MP9. It's going to be Deagle and a CZ. NiP are going for this.
Ooh. All right, a lot rests on this AWP in Lekro's hands. That's over towards long, where they've had to fight against that long pit a number of times. The AWP rang out in mid, trying to get that cross pick, which should make Lekro feel a little bit safe. He's gonna go for a peek in towards the crack. He legs Zipnix. GetRight gets the AWP, but if you remember the desk, GetRight has 0 kills with the AWP in this event. The all-time leading fragger in CSGO. Now trying to get it done with the AWP.
Also isolated over on the A side, so can even drop it to somebody, dupreeh. And there's GetRight, speaking of the man with the AWP. Is he going to be able to make it sing for his team? He's going to need to if they're going to pull back in this. Oh, the flashbang. The timing could not have been worse, but somehow GetRight actually escapes with his life.
He wants the fight. Device showing a shoulder, waiting for that flashbang, luring GetRight to stick around for the fight, but meanwhile the A bomb site is open. NiP can't go for this. They have to stay away. Astralis should be able to get up towards 10, but GetRight, the big thing is save that AWP. Do not let that fall into enemy hands. He wants to challenge at least a little bit, but if he's not careful, he's going to get stuck here.
Yeah, it's the kind of position up close that one flashbang will absolutely destroy him if they want to chase. Back away. Looks like he may be able to hold on to it, but again, that's really a small part of this round. The fact of the matter is that Astralis on the T half going to move to 10 rounds already. MP9 save, not fantastic. They at least have a couple of sidearms they can drop across to Lekr and Forest. I'm really trying to look at the positives here, Jason, but the fact of the matter is that Astralis, they're dumbstering NiP again.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot of positives to take away from it. Either way, NiP, if you're thinking in their perspective right now, they'd be happy to get out of this game with 5 rounds. 5 to 10 going into the second half. They would take that any day of the week at this point. Still going to be tough for them to get there with just these 3 weapons. As you said, can drop a CZ and a Deagle over, and can buy what they can in this round, and you can see they need the rounds. So they are going to reinvest into it. UMP on GetRight, Deagle on Rez. Lekr has that AWP, Forest a Scout. And you can kind of understand why they put some confidence in it when you think the 2 rounds they were able to string together that looked the best for NiP was due to those AWPs. And there goes the Scout. Dennis half blind. Device gonna jump up and he's lucky to get away. He saw the danger before it really applied pressure, but mid is open now. Rez alone at this B bomb site. dupreeh is walking his way out and Astralis don't have to make a single move. Rez is aware of the possibility. He's looking for it, but the timing's not with him. Staying close to the smoke. He's dropped from behind. He knew that was coming in the whole way, but he also knew he was going to get no help from his teammates. A masterclass by Astralis, and they lock this NiP defense out of any resistance.
GetRight could be able to save a secondary AWP. That would give them a bunch of firepower in the last round if he can hold on to it. Does connect onto Glaive, but he's still got 36 health and finished off by Dennis. GetRight close. Gonna use it onto dupreeh.
They can go for this all of a sudden. That opened everything up. And I think GetRight's just going to do it with or without his teammates. Lekr far away, still in pit. He's saving his AWP. But GetRight wants to at least test it. Dennis is in mid. I think they called it off. Astralis may be overextended, but they caught themselves before it got too out of hand.
Unfortunately, Lekr, the play that was saving, is the one play with the kit. So if they wanted to go in for that, it would have been really rough times. Dennis has spotted a couple of players. Also, there was a kit in front of him on mid.
That's why I was thinking they just go for it, and I think they probably should have. I think with a 2-on-2, you go for that retake, especially if Dennis could have picked up that kit. But either way, NiP postured for it. GetRight was really keen for it. It was called back at the last moment. So 3-11. Now 2 AWPs in the hands of the Ninjas due to Lekr saving. This is their last chance to get any kind of buffer in that second half.
Oh, and Device is taking it away from Forest. The nightmare starts.
Or continues.
Oh dear, both AWPs have been nullified. Rez still has one in his hands. Has picked up one. Oh, dupreeh switching to the grenade. Worst possible moment for him. And that is going to yield a kill for Dennis. A 2-on-2, one of the best chances that NiP have had in recent rounds. Need Rez and Dennis to chime together and somehow pull this off. They're against Zipnix and Glaive, 2 phenomenal clutch players.
I think the tough part is NiP has no clue where Astralis is right now, and someone's going to have to get aggressive and find it out. Dennis going up catwalk. He's taking control of mid. Maybe a chance to stop this cross, but Rez gives up the angle with the AWP, and actually Dennis, he might not have known it, but Glaive was very exposed out on Catwalk, puts the Molotov out, smokes himself out, which is tough, but the AWP, this is the chance for Rez. Behind the boxes, Zipnix, and there's the peak. It's just Glaive.
On the wrong side of the smoke, can't really stop this defuse. If a player gets across there, it's Dennis that's above him on Catwalk with a kit. Looking to find a headshot on the approach. He's playing a risky game here, Glaive, but it seems to be working out for him thus far. Smoke onto the site, let me peek around the corner. The ops missed, and now Glaive has to go in. The bomb's being defused. Glaive needs to stop this and isn't able to do so. NiP will get the smoke defused to end the half, but they still trail 11-4.
They fight tooth and nail to get that 4th round. It was so difficult, and the smoke gives Dennis the cover he needs. NiP have the smallest of buffers into that second half. No mistakes can be made on their T side. We'll see how they do when we return from the break. Another deep hole to dig out for NiP facing off against Astralis. 4-11 is the deficit they face against these juggernauts who have just been unflinching all series long. Now switching over to the defensive side of Dust 2. And NiP must dig deep and find something if they want to move on to the semifinals. They want to even force a third map here. And that is just so far away. Pressure from Astralis. They posture and show mid-aggression and back away from it as soon as they're spotted.
So much on the line, so much history. Not just Counter-Strike, but the Intel Extreme Masters. And NiP on the brink of being knocked out of just that. Can Astralis pick up a second pistol? NiP certainly hoping not, as they look to make some moves up on Catwalk, courtesy of
NiP, the missed a smoke, accidentally smoked themselves off, which could be dangerous. That's not a mistake you want to be making. A stack at this B bomb site, Vince.
Glaive's up close. There is a small gap in the smoke, so we can look to try and pounce. But elsewhere, NiP are overrunning the site. They're looking great to hold on, but Glaive is going to come up with one. It was looking good for a second. Rez, long-range fight with USP is never ideal, but he's somehow going to come ahead alongside Dennis. And it's looking great for NiP now, and Dennis has put the final nail in the coffin of the second pistol, and NiP have a lifeline.
Some life left in the Swedes. 3 players take the B bomb site while there is a staggered effort to cut off rotations in CT spawn and mid. Well played from NiP, but that was a grueling battle in the B bomb site. Glaive almost turned that. 5-11, an investment still from Astralis. 2 scouts come out, upgraded pistols come out. They want to put the hurt right back on the Ninjas in Pajamas. Cat right gonna come out towards long. There's a lot of resistance here. There's the HE grenade. He jumps over it, pulls an 8 out. That could be deadly. And the MAC-10 is gonna start going to work. Traded immediately. Can Glaive get back? No, the scout picks him off.
There was a bunch of damage on the approach for NiP as well, though. Lekro and Dennis feeling the worst of it, but Forrest, he's on the lurk. He's gonna find the remaining CTs. Dupree, though, smacks him through the head with the scout. I believe he heard the AK-47. He wants to go and pick that one up for himself.
That's actually a great find. It'll be interesting to see if he decides to save it or go for a little bit more damage, but a 1 versus 3, he just wants to back off. A valuable weapon, and you imagine if they can bring that into the next round, which I think they will, we might see Dupree buying light armor. He's got a smoke and flash as well. But NiP gonna start the second half as you'd like. It's gonna be 6-11 after this as they inch closer. I don't think there was a world in which Forrest thought that Dupree was gonna respond with that immediate headshot.
No, I think it clipped the underside of Catwalk as well on the way through. Must have been a hell of a shot, didn't see it from his perspective. Looks like Dupree will be able to hold on to the AK-47 though, so it does give a bit of firepower across to Astralis. But NiP will be picking up their 6th round, only their 8th of this best of 3. Been stacked in favor of the Danes, but this is looking a lot more promising now for Ninjas in Pajamas. Ooh, what a shot that is.
That's nasty. So, light armor is picked up by Dupree. He's got the 1 AK. And even though it's overwhelming firepower for the Ninjas with 2 AKs, 2 MAC-10s, and a scout, that AK-47 on Dupree, you know it can be deadly. Dennis looks like he wants to get out mid quick. He's got Zipnix to his right. Again, a sole AK-47 on its own in middle. Gotta be careful. Wants to cut off. He hears the footsteps from Glaive. Gets a chance. There's Zipnix, and he's gonna continue the spray. Doesn't find it as he disappears in the smoke, but now he knows. All 3 players in mid, but that AK-47, they can save that as well. That would be a great help to their economy, and Dupree's gonna cover the retreat. This is actually not too shabby for Astralis.
Yeah, even though they're going to concede the rounds, they're taking consistent damage across the NiP and saving guns.
Well, these 2 free rifles going into their first buy, that can help them so much moving forward. If they happen to lose that, they'll still have plenty of money. That'll help them keep AWPs in their hands if they need, although Rez, he spotted this AK, and Dupree initially looked like he wanted to stick around for the fight, but just enough to keep Rez at bay. Now he's going to back off. Smart play from Dupree, prioritizing the weapon.
Device is definitely going to be able to save his. And Dupree is going to be just fine. Forrest is the closest player. But he's going towards the long A side. So there is going to be 2 saved AKs. And now Astralis is going to be able to put some guns behind it. We're expecting to see Device with an AWP. And he has pulled the trigger on just that.
But look at what these weapons have afforded. Dupree, because he saved the AK-47 for 2 rounds now, he's got 4,200 in the bank. Magic's 2,250. That's massive. That means even if they lose the AWP, they can still rebuy one essentially for free because of that AK-47. Or I guess maybe half off. Device in mid. Off angle towards the base of Catwalk, peering up over the smoke. He's got Dupree close up. Remember, Dennis played that position earlier, and Astralis blinded him and destroyed him. The flashbang doesn't work as well for the Ninjas, and dupreeh gets that kill.
Able to maintain most of his health and put the smoke down as well. Zipnik's in a duel to the death with Rez, comes out second best. Nade damage inflicted to Forest, but it's not too bad. NiP able to stabilize. Oh, Glaive peeks out with the smoke. Uncharacteristic mistake. Will be punished.
Device left alone in the site at A. dupreeh is creeping up that spawn ramp to try and help out at long so that no one can turn the corner. That allows Device to focus solely on this one choke point. A minute left for NiP to play with, depending on how they want to readjust, and a big kill for Get Right. Waiting patiently, Device forced out, he's fighting in flames. And there's Get Right again, chiming in for a third. And Magisk, all alone, coming from the B-bomb site. Lekro's gonna finish it off. NiP still in this, and Get Right now getting the crowd on their feet.
Got a game on our hands, ladies and gentlemen. The Ninjas will not be squashed just yet. As a result of the money you were discussing before, it's going to be more of a half buy, but they do have a scout in play. So still some danger, still some threat. NiP cannot take this round lightly.
And dupreeh will still be able to drop an AWP in the next round if they want to go that route. Exchange it to Device, so economics working in the favor of Astralis due to some good decision making. They need to clear out Device. Is Dennis going to do it wide? There's the drop from Get Right. He doesn't look. Dennis has it covered though. Now window, the next point of danger. dupreeh only had time for one shot. Utility going to be used as NiP secures the site. The bomb's got to make its way in. So time for Astralis to try and set up to do some damage here and see if they can play their way into this round. There is one player, Rez, watching in mid. Him and Lekro pretty much shut down the retake before it begins, and that should be the end of danger.
Still 2 armors to save for Astralis. You don't expect them to be using the Scout and Deagle in the next round. Additionally, could be on the hunt for some exit frags, but NiP are going to close the gap 1 round further. This is going to be 5 in a row now for the Swedes. Forest finds dupreeh, so some money going to be burnt, and now Magisk just shy of running into Rez. Going to come down to reaction speed for Rez, spots the head over the wall, and Magisk is going to perforate his and get the AK-47. Not quite able to get the kills. Lekro, so Magisk has done a lot of damage in this round, and will hold on to the AK more than likely, and on to Dennis too. That's going to sting for NiP.
They have plenty of money to recover and rebuy those, but yeah, you're exactly right. I think the bigger point to make for Astralis is the fact that now, it's been 5 rounds, as you said, in this first half, or the second half so far, and Astralis has gotten away with saving 3 AK-47s. That's a lot of money that they haven't had to spend on their own weaponry that's going to bolster this, so now you're seeing a double-up setup come into play. You're seeing the AUGs out, so Astralis doing as best they can, even in losing 5 straight. Again, fast mid-pressure, that smoke covering it, but it seems like dupreeh has the idea. And how aggressive do NiP want to be out mid? Maybe not too much early on. They're happy with the control that they gave. dupreeh and Magisk both with eyes on mid. Zipnik's as well on the spawn ramp. That smoke is going to keep their attention a little bit further, which is going to give NiP time to clear out Catwalk.
Nade is there to greet them as NiP looking to procure a path on the way to A. Dennis lining up the smoke. Just popped down on the CT side. There is a player there. Currently throwing up the Molotov. Gonna stall a little while longer. So Astralis doing a pretty solid job with their counter nades, and Lekro peeks 1 too many times. Second Molotov there to greet them. And with Lekro's death, they can't be sure now that Astralis won't try and play some aggressive flank behind them. So NiP are caught, clumped up on Catwalk, just a 1 player on long.
And it's going to come down to Get Right. He could have the biggest impact in this. We know he's a master of lurking, a master of picking his moment. And look at the stall tactics from Astralis. They're playing this so perfectly. NiP might be forced to go through these smokes. Get Right's going to give up his stance on long. Forrest going to cover the bomb site, waiting for that peek from Zipnik. It's not coming because Device is covering the angle at Card. He's got the first kill. Now Zipnik's pounce. Now he does so well. And again, just buying time. Doesn't need to take the fight. He's got the off and he's got his teammates. And now he's going to clean him up. 15 seconds left. Device puts Astralis on the board for the first time in this second half.
A comeback derailed for the time being. Rez just 2.4K. Dennis 3.2K. They're going to be able to drop. But all of the consecutive rounds now going to be nullified to an extent. But Astralis regained 3-round lead. Exquisite work from Astralis. I mean, honestly, the MVP of that round was just the grenades. They fended them off for so long. There was not enough time to capitalize at the end.
They used a lot of nades early on in the round. Fast-paced, Lekro's gonna get out, but one's already made it in the pit. It's Glaive, and he doesn't have time to react. Beautiful shot from Lekro. But you still, with this double op setup, have Device to contend with.
Positioned at the back of the site now, looking down long, peering, using that crosshair, hoping that someone peeks him. There's gonna be a smoke though instead. He's expecting and anticipating some flashbangs. There's actually a gap in this, though. So NiP gonna back away. They don't even want to try. They know that Astralis will have an open play. And, well, that's why. They didn't want to peek earlier, because get right, has been destroyed. And all of the positives that they had with the first kill going their way on long have now been somewhat mitigated.
All they have is this long attack, really. Lekro and Rez are here with Forrest, who's in the pit. Dennis is guarding mid. He's in lower dark. Trying to find a timing on these rotations to pounce, and he might have it. Magisk has gone deeper in towards CT spawn, and Dennis now a real chance. As attention is being pulled away, it's perfect. He gets the kill, the headshot from the back. Device has to do more. Xyp9x is going to drop away from Catwalk, but Device still with the off angle. Forrest is watching all along, and NiP going to get into the bomb site.
Xyp9x, the last line of defense, gonna wait for the smoke. There's no one watching alongside. Could get the drop on the first player. It's gonna be a spray down, but it's not gonna go the way of Astralis. dupreeh wants to hold on to this AWP for dear life, and the Ninjas will move to 10 rounds.
You have to admire the resilience of NiP to stay in this fight. 16-2 on the first map they lost. Down 11-4 at half. And never giving up. NiP gonna find themselves in this game. Astralis gonna be able to have one more buy. And dupreeh saving that off, it'll be a powerful one. Everything Astralis has will go into this round, and it's the best chance that NiP has had. If they can break Astralis here, they can tie this game up.
Lightning fast entry frag onto long. It was looking a little bit ominous for a while when Device got that pick onto get right, but they've managed to stabilize. And our timeout will be called. Try and rummage together some ideas of how Astralis can bounce back. And they could afford a buy here, but instead they're going to play it a little bit more passively for the time being, playing for the longer haul. It's going to be some drop pistols. I
don't think they ever want to be... The theory behind this is you imagine that Astralis is just saying, we don't ever want to be in a situation where NiP can gain the lead when we have nothing to fight with. So Deagles, the 3 P250s, the AWP on dupreeh is what they'll bring into the round. Still dangerous. And they're just signaling to NiP, if you want to tie up the score, you're going to have to work hard for it. Astralis' economy management has been phenomenal in this map.
Yeah, plus we've seen the importance of their counter nades. They wouldn't have had a fantastic helping of grenades if they'd gone in for a force here. dupreeh's gonna get boosted up. There is a grenade coming over. It chunks Xyp9x. Gonna be feeling that for a few rounds to come.
NiP's gonna need a flashbang here. Are they gonna do it? dupreeh will have a chance to get one, and they don't think they'll be able to respond. There's the flashbang. Oh, he falls off the stack. Perhaps miscommunication between dupreeh and Xyp9x, but it looked like Xyp9x wanted nothing to do with that attack on Catwalk, and dupreeh did.
Not able to retrieve the AWP either on his way out, so that's just on the floor now. By and large wasted. NiP don't want to pick that up. Keep some AKs, keep the mobility. Xyp9x gonna use that smoke. Wrong side of it from NiP's perspective, but only able to get one. Not gonna be connecting the dots. And with his death, the A site will follow.
Priority 1 for Astralis in this round. They've done such a good job of saving weapons. It has to be either to find Lekro here in mid or find one AK-47 or go salvage that op. And it looks like everyone from Astralis is pushing their respective locations to do just that. Lekro's gonna be a free kill. That's one AK. Get right, immediately takes Device away. Covering this op. Forcing Astralis to reinvest if they want it.
Meanwhile, Glaive will be very happy with taking an AK out of the round. Magisk still has Kevlar. But even with the save, we are now down to just a 1-round deficit. NiP have brought it back from 11-4 half to 12-11 now. Momentum firmly in their favor. But Astralis will have a double op setup.
The double op setup, which is so intimidating, which has been tough to defeat, but not in this half. I mean, it's been 7-1 for NiP since they switched over to the T side. This has been a phenomenal comeback for the Swedes. Starting to feel it just a little bit. Everyone's had their time, a very spread effort. No one individual carrying them to this point. Much more passive from NiP, not pressuring down mid. Shot through the doors is going to give Dupree the confidence to take that angle. Flashbang comes out and he's almost eliminated. Spam from Dennis actually hits Device. Both the ops were in mid. Warning shot's going to force Lekro back in the B tunnels. A heavy lean for this defense towards the A side of the map.
Damage and grenades being traded from the two teams. Another smoke deployed in the B entrance. Keep NiP on the back foot for the time being. They can't really afford to push through this. Magisk is holding it alone, but there's no way for NiP to know at this stage. Can try and draw out some more grenades, but Astralis, again, they've been so good at keeping on top of having as many nades as possible going into the latter stages of the rounds.
NiP applied enough pressure to B to make Astralis feel like a mid to B split was very, very possible. Glaive just holding onto this smoke. They're gonna have to go through it. A great duel, a great win for Lekro. That might open everything up. It's pulled the rotation. Glaive is exposed out in the open and so is Device. Misses that shot. He's gotta fall back now.
20 seconds to go. Molotov's been put onto the site. This is gonna stall the plant, but a smoke has been there to neutralize it. Zipnix can see heads protruding over the sides. Gonna get one, looking for a second. Gets the spray on to get right as well. NiP desperately need to hold on to this round, but Astralis now have the player advantage. Forrest has been found wanting. Rez trying to spray as best as he can. He's not sure where the remaining CTs are at. Whiffing bullets left and right of both Zipnix and Rez. And finally, Device is gonna make this retake a reality. And enough time for the defuse. Astralis get it done.
What a beautiful round from Zipnix. NiP had the players in position to stop that exactly and just weren't able to do it. The Auguring's out. And no, it's not a 1vx situation, but Zipnix is still clutch as hell. He tears NiP apart at the post plant. All the advantages. And Astralis able to secure a win that lets them continue to invest into this half. 13-11 now, a 2-round lead. It's NiP now on the back foot, running out of money. Oh God, this is so fast though. Are they going to expect it? Device isn't. Neither is Zipnix. That is so fast. No chance to respond. No idea it's coming, and Dennis hits like a truck.
Desolation from Dennis. A site falls. What a response to a brutal retake loss. Glaive though going to keep the dream alive. Still plenty of grenades for Astralis.
They can go for this, Vince.
They really can. Look at that grenade damage as well. It chunks Forrest. He's down to 50. But there's Forrest. Answers back, picking shrapnel out of his teeth. Silences Glaives. Eviscerates the retake, and NiP will draw 1 round closer again.
Yeah, Astralis forced away. Not a lot of money. Devices on nothing. They've played it conservative with their economy. It'll be interesting to see what they do. You imagine it's going to be another small investment of pistols. They don't want NiP to take everything away. Not going into round 26. This crowd wants a third map, NiP wants a third map, and they want to take these guns away. Here's Dennis, and he's not being covered. He gets the AWP out of his hands, and Magisk just distracted for a moment. It's only the AUG they can bring forward, and certainly now it's going to be a save. NiP has responded to every challenge, every obstacle placed in front of him, keeping this close down the stretch.
What a courageous call as well after losing a retake to say, Dennis, push.
This one's on you. This one's on you, baby.
Yep. What a round.
And one of the few times it feels like Astralis just wasn't ready for what NiP was showing him. Third timeout used by Astralis. And they are gonna buy into this. Buy with everything they've got. It's not pretty. SMGs, a CZ on Glaive, a Scout on Device. So much hangs in the balance here.
Forrest, oh, just spotted the player peeking down the bottom side, but this time it's Rez. He's going to be the aggressor. He is expecting a flashback potentially. It never came. So a free kill for Magisk, and now it's Astralis' turn to dish the damage and repel the push.
This is going to open the map up as well, and you can see that's exactly what Dupree realizes. He's pushing to upper dark. Two players go down it long. They've spotted two in mid, and they know Forrest is far back in T-spawn. Dupree could ruin everything. And Astralis, when they have these buys, they take chances, and this one might pay off massively. NiP, even though it's a 3-on-4, they have all the nades. They have everything they want to get back into this in Dupree. He can get so much information. When he starts turning this corner, he can send Zipnix and tell him long is clear. You can fall back, you can start to centralize. NiP need to make a decision, they need to make it soon. Device is watching, and he's down. He's down for the fight. That's gonna open up NiP's path. That's gonna allow them the escape out of the potential danger of the flank, but Glaive gets one from behind.
That will keep NiP honest at this stage. Astralis have the player advantage. Lekro's going to try and take the initiative. He's going to push in, but it's the MP9. He's up against Dupree, still gets the kill. 50% health remaining intact. Astralis positioning for a potential retake. Glaive's going to come in now from the backside of tunnels.
Forrest has to have heard this. Yeah, he hears it. This is big.
Molotov in, Zipnix out. Glaive looking to extinguish this round. Try and take the bomb away. His position is now compromised, and NiP have drawn us even. The first map may have been a dud, but this one is delivering.
For the first time in this series, NiP have gained control of the match. Astralis, everything they had went into it.
That was such a huge moment in the round. Lekro getting the better of Dupree.
It really was, and that might have been, yeah, it's be frustrating if you're Dupree, flanking from the B-bomb side all the way to T-spawn, only to have to turn back around and get dropped. NiP gonna simplify. Three players slowly walking in towards the B-bomb site. Magisk with the deagle. If he peeks at the wrong moment, he could get eliminated. He spots them all. They're gonna move in. Oh, what a shot. Can he do more? Had the chance. Rez found the push towards long, and NiP is piling on now. But again, Astralis has been so good at finding some of these AK-47s and just saving them moving forward. They could use some of that now. They can use anything. Rez is gonna back away from the fight, but there's one that's pushed up mid. Now they know where both are, and Rez, precision on his Zipnix. And NiP is gonna take a 14-13 lead.
We are going the distance at the business end of the second map. NiP are shining bright. Astralis can buy. They need to prioritize whether they want the AWP, which you'd expect they do, but in doing so, it's going to drop them down to very few grenades. Device has no armor either.
They know how desperate this scenario is. It's their final timeout. They've used all four in regulation. They'll have none going into overtime. This timeout needs to be everything. This timeout needs to give them a game plan for 3 rounds. It all starts with this one.
No kits, Jason.
No kits, no armor on Device.
And NiP have been getting onto bomb sites consistently. Will that force Astralis' hand to play more aggressive, I wonder? For the time being on long, it seems to be the case, but NiP aren't interested. They're backing away, they're still at T-spawn. So the limited utility Astralis have, a lot of it's been tossed in long, and it's for absolutely nothing in return.
Nobody wanted to blink first. So cautious from each team. No more peeking up mid with the ops. No more peeking towards catwalk with the ops. Small slip from Dupree. The nade not making it over. That could have chunked down NiP just a little. Forrest waiting for a peek. It's not going to come. 1 minute. The utility for Astralis, which has been so strong in this series, is starting to run low. 2 smokes, 2 flashes, and an HE.
Some smokes now being deployed from NiP. Looking to initiate a response up catwalk. Flashbang in the eyes of Zipnix. Can't see anything. Now it has subsided. We've seen him in this position before, though, with a pistol.
And we've seen NiP try and edge their way around that smoke where he had a kill in that round with the pistol. So you could see he was looking for that same thing again. Flashbang in the eyes. 25 seconds and no one has spotted what's coming. Here we go, it's all on Zipnix and Device.
Zipnix with the York, Taylor made! It's gonna be getting 3 with a spray! Single-handedly stops the push. Has snagged this round away from NiP in such an integral moment. And to make matters worse, it's a clean sweep rounds.
We touched on it, Zipnix knew exactly what was coming and he downloaded NiP. Read the play the whole way and he had the perfect moment. No one able to react in time, and I think GetRight even had smoke as he turns to try and finish that off. 14-14, we're not done yet. Round 29 coming in hot. NiP out of money behind this buy. This might be their last chance to get a third map for us. For themselves. This time more fast pace. GetRight's gonna come out. And the long defenders, they want nothing to do with it. They lost the advantage, and GetRight, that's not the weapon to peek long. He goes for a shoulder peek. Making sure the defense backed away appropriately, respected them appropriately. But Device finds Dennis just as he descends into pit.
And that's why the respect was shown. They know this man makes long his own. Now NiP gonna have to try and funnel out a masterful play through mid. We've seen this quite a few times where Astralis have a bit of damage to Dupree, forces him out of mid. No longer going to have control over this. Lekro, can just spot Zipnix? He did, but that glimmer of a pixel is going to be the demise of Lekro Rez. NiP go from the pinnacle to the pit, and now Astralis looking to move 1 step closer to securing their position in the semi-finals.
Clutch has many meanings, Vince, but you have to just respect the fact that Zipnix embodies all of them. These last 2 rounds, when Astralis has needed him to tie things up, to give them a lead, he's been spectacular with the AUG holding Astralis in this game. And all of a sudden it's NiP, it's Forrest. I think Astralis have to realize this scenario. 20 seconds left, they're already gonna start the hunt. It's a 5-on-1, throw as many players away. You didn't lose anyone in the previous round. You've got plenty of money. Go take this gun away from Forrest. He's got a battle to hold on to it. I can't imagine a way in which he does. Zipnix goes down, but they know where he is. Everyone now congregating. 4 seconds left in the round. Still some time after that. And I don't know if he spotted the head. There's Glaive. Forrest finds that as well. Now I think Astralis has to be careful. If they lose a third, it could hurt so much, and Forrest holds on. That was so important, so desperate. It's the best weapon that NiP have in this round.
Unbelievable hold again from Zipnix with the AUG. As you say, he really has been the player they desperately required to step up, and he stepped up in a massive way. Last round of regulation. It could be the last round of the quarterfinals here at IEM Katowice. And NiP will have an AWP and some pistols.
We saw NiP burn 2 timeouts in a row previously. You might just do it twice. This round is everything. This round is your life in the major. It's your life here in IEM Katowice. Here we go. Spoke.
Within him to strike. You better believe with leadership like Glaive, they know the buy is going to be very low. Possibly Scouts, Deagle, something that has that one-tap potential. They have no reason to peek. They have no reason to overextend. That's why they're playing so passively.
They have utility to respond, as you said as well, so as soon as they have an idea of what's coming, NiP need to find a way with these pistols to get close, to close the gap. Everyone going to shuffle in towards upper B. It's Force and Lekro in mid. Smoke is going to cover them for the moment, but dupreeh wants to get aggressive. This could be so dangerous. Even if he gets the first pick, they could hunt him down. There's the shot. He gets away. No, he doesn't. He's tagged up, but Zipnix covers his retreat. That's from mid, and they found their way to the B bomb site. You still have Magus to deal with. Still so much to deal with. There he is. It's traded. A 2-on-3.
Get right and Res. Weight of the world on their shoulders. Not far off from the dig is Res, but Zipnix gets the upper hand. And now Get Right's going to have to wind back the years with the AWP. A gun that you don't label him with, and Zipnix is going to get it done. Astralis weather the storm, and they move through to the semi-finals.
Zipnix gets 7 kills in those last 3 rounds, and he saves the day once again. Steps up in magnificent fashion to close it out for Astralis. They're going to be facing MIBR in the semi-finals of IEM Katowice in an honorable battle for NiP, even though they fall short.
Yeah.
And just a tremendous showing here from the Ninjas in Pajamas, who are all but written off on the back of the first map here, pushing Astralis around, pushing them to the test, showing that they can be beaten up a little bit, but ultimately the fight was won by Astralis.
What an absolute contrast of 2 maps back to back. You see a pantsing